Is nursing good as a pre-med course?
I have no regrets, but I feel like it would have been interesting if I took. The best part about the school that I chose was how I think one of the indicators to say whether or not you're fit to be a nurse. I honestly think the scariest part about nursing school is nursing versus other courses. My course is harder than yours. That was so hard. Hindi ko talaga siya naintindihan. I'm gonna be totally honest. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Hey, it's Ellie. Failed the subject. Hey, it's Ellie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with
Rachel.
And today I will be doing what I promised. I'll be answering your questions all about nursing, college, etc. So you know what? We're just gonna hop right into it. But first, so I kind of just categorized everything by category. So basically we have general nursing course questions, specific years and subjects, read them or duty experiences, and others and or advice. I just want to say sorry in advance if your question isn't included. There was just so many people who sent questions, and some of them or most of them had like the same idea, so I feel like I'll be able to answer everything that's on your minds right now. So you don't have to read their usernames. I'm just gonna pop up your question here. And Rachel, go ahead and ask me.
Okay, first question. Do you have to be smart to be a nursing student?
I've always had good grades. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm not trying to brag. It's just facts that I've always just been on the honors list. And so when I came to college, you know, things kind of turned around for me. I don't want to say it all went downhill, but let's just say that I am
challenged.
I was definitely challenged. During my first year of nursing school, I definitely took it hard whenever I had got a low grade, whenever I didn't pass a quiz. And like, it was pretty bad. I know a lot of people during first year who would like break down and cry. And if you look at all of the students now, we're just like, as long as it's passing, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like you don't have to be the smartest kid in class. You don't have to be valedictorian, salutatorian, whatever. I mean, it'll definitely help. You'll definitely be more devoted to studying all the time. You'll put all of your time towards that. But college is pretty hard, and it's really hard to balance things, especially based on my experience. I had a really hard time balancing, especially because I have work, I have YouTube, and school. I'm just kind of, as long as it's passing, because I don't want to pressure myself too hard. I don't want to lie to you guys. It's really hard, and sometimes if you overwhelm yourself and if you put too much pressure on yourself, it'll end up with negative results. So as long as I'm passing and I understand what I'm learning, that's good enough for me.
Good answer, good answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Chip?
Next question. Is the nursing course expensive?
Is the nursing course expensive? You know, I get a lot of DMs from you guys about my tuition fee, and I can't really tell you guys. You want to go ahead and eat that? It was so big. I got you. Go eat the chip. Eat the chip. I get a lot of DMs about like how much my tuition is, and I really honestly can't tell you guys because I'm not the one who handles that. My parents are the ones who handles all of that. But I can tell you that there are definitely a lot of purchases that you have to make in nursing school besides the tuition. Like, you have to buy a stethoscope, you have to buy supplies, you have to buy your uniforms, your scrubs, your shoes. There's just a lot of expenses, and also there's lots of you know, those class contributions for certain events and yada yada yada. So based on my experience, there are a lot of expenses besides the tuition fees. So also the textbooks, I almost forgot to mention, the textbooks are also a lot of money as well. So yeah, if you're going into nursing, you should probably be aware that there are going to be a lot of expenses, especially for medical supplies for your retens, for clinicals, for duty. So yeah, you guys have to be prepared for that.
Is it true that the nursing course is the hardest than any other college courses out there?
Okay. Nursing alone is super challenging. I don't want to compare it to other courses because different courses bring different things to the table. It takes different skills, it takes different theories and lessons, you know what I mean? So you can't really measure, like if I take nursing versus like accountancy, you can't really, you know, you can't really directly say like, oh, my course is harder than yours, because our course requires different things. So I can only speak for nursing since that's what I'm taking. So if you're asking if nursing is hard in general, it's challenging, and that's my answer to that.
Plus, other people have like different strengths. So like, you know,
Yeah,
some things are easier for other people, some things just aren't.
yeah. Like for example, if you're in accountancy and you're good at math, that's good for you. Like that's a pro for you. So same thing for nursing. Our professors always say that there's two types of students: the type of students that are good in the lectures and the lessons and theories, like in class, and there are also students who are more good with like practicals and like skills. Nursing versus other courses are just, you can't measure which one's more challenging because they're both different.
What do you consider when choosing nursing school?
I think I mentioned in one of my past or first few videos what I wish I knew before nursing is that having a school that is close to where you live is a definite benefit. I didn't really think about that before because I used to go to a different university, and it's so far away. It is so far away from where I'm living right now, and my parents didn't let me live in a dorm or by myself. So I was, you know, should I speak Tagalog? Hatid sundo ako when it comes to school. Like my parents, they'll drop me off, they'll pick me up. That's just how our family works. So I used to go to a university that is so far away, and it just didn't work out for me. It was just so tiring. I say this all the time. I would have to wake up at 3 to get ready to leave at 4, and then we'd drive all the way there. We'd get there at like 5 or 6, and my class didn't start until 7. It's just so messy. My classes would end at 6 p.m. So you guys would pick me up at 6 p.m. But it is so traffic where the school is. That's why we would get home. Imagine this, getting home at 11 p.m. Me still having to do schoolwork. I'd get no sleep, and then I'd have to wake up at 3 a.m. and do it all again. It was not a good experience for me. So now that I'm going to a university that is honestly so close to where I'm living, it's just such a relief. Like, okay, you gotta pay tuition? Okay, just go there, come back. And when we have like long breaks during class, I can come home, I can take a nap, and it's great. If you guys are asking me what I considered personally, I couldn't really consider anything. It wasn't really much of a choice for me. It was more like, okay, this is what's closest and this is what's more efficient and more practical, so we're gonna choose this. I didn't really get the time to like study, oh, what are the school's, you know, strengths, or how are they on the nursing board exams, or like what's their passing rate, blah blah blah, like what's their skills. I didn't really think about that because when you think about it, I feel like all schools have their own things to offer. Just like what I said earlier, different schools have different things to bring to the table. So I don't want to compare and contrast, you know, different schools because they have different things to bring. I feel like I said different way too many times. The best part about the school that I chose was how close it was to me, and I didn't realize how important that was and how much of an effect it would have on my college life. So if you guys have the choice to choose a university that's closer to where you reside, that's what I would choose.
What is the best thing about nursing school?
I really enjoyed the fact that we were put out into the field right away nung second year. First year was more like lectures, and we had a lot of minor subjects back then. But second year, after our capping ceremony and the battery exam, that was when they just like assigned us all. Some of us went into the hospital, some of us went into, you know, different kinds of healthcare centers and facilities. And I just really enjoyed that they just really let us experience whatever we could. It's like real life, like we were dealing with real people, real patients who had real health concerns, and it was just really exciting that as a student pa lang, you can get so much experience. So that's what I think is the best thing about nursing school.
What is the scariest part of being a nursing student? What is the hardest thing as a nursing student?
I honestly think the scariest part about nursing school is the pressure. Like, you're dealing with
real lives.
Real lives.
Yeah.
People's lives are literally in your hands. Like, you're alongside other healthcare professionals like doctors, surgeons. Like, you're there with them, so you're also responsible for the patients that you're taking care of. Not just the pressure with patients, but also with, like, for example, I have a lot of classmates who have family members who are also nurses and doctors, so that kind of pressure of being just as good as them, and that kind of pressure of having the right skills, the right knowledge, and what are the kind of things that I have to experience being a nursing student. If one of my family members are like feeling something, they'll like ask me like, you're a nursing student, right? You should know this. Like, well, okay, hold on. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Like, that pressure of like, you have to know what's wrong with me and you have to tell me what to do because you're a nursing student. That's scary, because what if I say the wrong thing? I don't want to be held responsible right now because I'm still a student. So the scariest part is really the pressure and the expectations that it comes along with.
How do I know beforehand whether I have what it takes to pass nursing school?
I think one of the indicators to say whether or not you're fit to be a nurse or not is if masipag ka mag-aral. You have to be, honestly, you have to be really devoted to studying, reading, understanding, because nursing is really not a joke. I think I always say that when I answer questions like this, but nursing isn't a joke, guys. You're holding the lives of other people, so you really gotta study. I know I'm not top student, I'm not the smartest, but I'm just saying, based on experience, you'll have a much easier time kung masipag ka mag-aral. That's all I gotta say about that.
This one says, hi Ate Ellie.
Hello. Hello.
Just want to ask if it's hard being in college as a nursing student. How many free hours do you get every day?
Oh my goodness. Rachel, you want to answer how free I am?
Well, they have classes. They have really long classes.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say.
I feel like sometimes they don't believe me. Like, is she really in school?
Or is she asleep?
Or is she just sleeping? We literally have classes from morning until night.
Yeah.
They do give us breaks, and we appreciate that because they know that it's not easy online, sitting in front of a computer all day. But it's just still so tiring. It's still so tiring. Na parang whenever, like me personally, when there's a break and it's for like lunch or snack, I'd rather sit on my bed and close my eyes.
Yeah.
I'd rather rest than come downstairs and eat. It's just because it's just so draining sometimes. I don't know if it's just my school. I don't know how other schools' schedules are, but based on my schedule, it's pretty packed. And especially now that we're in 4th year, we also have nursing review. So that's like an additional kind of school besides our regular nursing school. So we're not very free. We're not very free. I mean, maybe I'm also speaking from like a part-time vlogger point of view.
You do a lot.
I do a lot. So I don't know how it is for my other peers who just have to think about nursing school, because I have a lot on my plate besides school. I have work, I have other responsibilities. So for me personally, I'm not very free, but I guess it's okay. Like, it still works since na hindi tayo nakakalabas masyado, so I'm really just here in the house, and so are my friends and other classmates. So yeah, I'm personally not very free.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like,
This isn't scripted. I'm kind of nervous.
How was your hours during face-to-face classes? Like, were you as busy as I get what you're trying to say.
When it was face-to-face, your school environment and your home environment was completely separate. So you don't feel that. you don't feel like it's like super long. Because when you're in school, school lang iisipin mo. And then when you go home, parang yung mindset mo na is, okay, I'm done with school, like I can rest now before I do my work. But now with this setup, it's like school and home.
Yeah, at
It's
the same
all
time.
at the same time. So parang it's just one big blob. And your hours are just mushed together.
So when you were having face-to-face classes, how was your free time?
I save. No, I smile because, like, kunwari, there's a break time. And I have friends who also live close to the school. They live closer than me. So, like, kunwari, during break time, we'll go over to their house, we'll watch a movie, we'll order food. And it's just more, it's a different environment all the time. Like, it's either you're in school or maybe you're outside, you're eating in a restaurant or someplace with your friends, or you're at someone's house. Like, there's just so many things going on as compared to right now where we're literally just in the house 24/7.
Okay.
So that's why you feel more free even if the hours are the same. Even if, you know, we're just as busy, it feels different because parang mas na-feel mo na separated yung mga environment mo. So it just makes things easier when it was face to face. But now it's just one big blob for me. I can't tell the difference if I'm in school or if I'm at home. It's just, you know, all mushed together. Okay, for all my YouTubers out there, I do not suggest eating chips during a Q&A. Like,
So I don't want to crunch.
I know, but I'm like,
Yeah. Is nursing good as a pre-med
Okay.
course?
is nursing good as a pre-med course? I got a lot of questions about this. I got a lot of questions like comparing different pre-meds. And so I'm just gonna answer this with the reason why I chose nursing. Who are the people working side by side with doctors?
Nurses.
Nurses, right? So I just feel like for me, it's just such a great perspective to already see what doctors are doing, how they work together with nurses. That's why I feel like nursing is such a great pre-med for me. That's just why I chose it, because I get to work side by side with physicians, with surgeons. I get to see what they're doing, and we work together, we collaborate. So I know how they think, they know how I think, and I just feel like that's just such a great relationship, and you can use that to your advantage in medical school. But I also feel like other pre-meds such as like rad tech or med tech, nutrition, they all have their different, you know, strengths and different things that they can also bring to the table, and different things, different kind of skills and set of knowledge that is an advantage to them in med school. But for me personally, I'm sorry, I'm licking my lips because there's chips. For me personally, I also chose nursing because of what I said earlier. We get experience right away. We get to work with patients right away. So, you know, students pa lang, we get all of this experience, we get to collect all of these skills, and it's in real life with real patients. So I just feel like it's such an advantage. Nursing is just such a great choice for pre-med since we work so close with doctors.
Yeah, understood. So besides nursing, did you ever think of an alternative medicine related course?
Yeah, I've always been set on nursing as my pre-med, but I've been looking back and I kind of wish, not kind of wish, I have no regrets, but I feel like it would have been interesting if I took
Pharmacy. Or
pharmacy. No, pharmacy.
Okay.
Pharmacy is the course, pharmacology is the subject. My pharmacology course, I feel like I wasn't able to absorb, like, our professor was great. It's me. It's my brain. Our professor was so good. I just feel like I wasn't able to absorb it as much as I wanted to. If I were to choose a different one, pharmacy would probably be my next choice.
Mahirap po ba nung first year kayo sa nursing? Sorry, my Tagalog.
First year nursing was a lot of pressure on all of us since we're just transitioning from senior high school to our first year of college. So a lot of us were overwhelmed, we were under pressure, we would cry if we got a low grade. So if you look at it that way, then yeah, it was kind of hard for us to transition from high school to college. But now that I look at it, first year was nothing. First year was nothing compared to, or maybe it's because of our situation right now. I kind of wish that I took first year, like I kind of pushed myself harder during first year because the subjects were way more easier back then. So if you're in first year now, my suggestion to you is to push yourself now para madala mo yung drive na yun hanggang fourth year. Because I feel like I just got discouraged right away in first year because I was like, oh god, this is so hard. I was like, this is.
It was just a hard.
It was a hard transition.
Oh.
Transaction. College is where you realize that there are people smarter than you, work harder than you. Like that's what I realized because I was thinking here in high school like, oh, I've got this. You know, I can handle college. I go to college and I was doing the same thing that I was doing in high school, but it wasn't enough. There were people who were smarter, they worked harder. Isang basa pa lang memorize na nila, like I can't do that. They're so smart. So that's why there was just so much pressure on a lot of people, and that's why it was hard when I looked at it back then. But now from a fourth year perspective, it was pretty easy. And I want to tell you guys that I wish I worked harder in first year pa lang so that my drive would continue until fourth year. So that's my biggest piece of advice to you guys.
What was the hardest year for you in nursing school?
Third year. Didn't even have to think about that.
Why?
Third year was just a lot for me for some reason. Like we had med surg for the first time. We had psychiatric nursing. We had our thesis. It was just a bunch of heavy subjects. Plus everything being online.
Yeah.
So it was just really heavy for me personally. I don't know about the other batches who got to have face-to-face throughout their whole nursing journey. But for me, personally, third year was super hard because the subjects were just so heavy and there were just so much load. And the thesis, oh my goodness, the thesis, it was a nightmare.
Third year was the hardest. So for you, what was the hardest subject in nursing?
I can't even say it. Bumagsak ako sa microbiology. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hot tea!
Bagsak ako first year microbiology. It's just, I can't understand it. I don't understand any of it.
Biology.
Staphylococcus aureus. Like, I don't know. So, our process, whenever you fail a subject, you get to take a removals exam. So, if you pass the removals exam, then you pass the subject. So, I did pass the exam. So, I passed the subject and I didn't have to retake it. But, man, that was so hard. Hindi ko talaga siya naintindihan. I'm gonna be totally honest. All of those bacteria names were, it was like Swedish to me. Like, I didn't understand. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Hey, it's Ellie. Failed the subject. But she redeemed herself. Okay.
Okay, that was first year, right?
That was first
Okay,
year. That was
okay.
first year. Okay.
Anong year po usually capping, pinning, candle lighting ceremony?
Second year. Second year after the battery exam.
Next is, how's fourth year po?
Fourth year is pretty good right now because we are on a wellness break. I can't tell you guys much right now kasi kakasimula pa lang yung fourth year, naka-wellness break na kami. So, yeah. But so far, parang kaya naman. We're just under a lot of pressure because we're trying to get ready for the board exams. So, also we're grateful because I think we only have like 3 subjects this year. So, because it was supposed to be puro duty na lang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why onti na lang yung mga subjects. But so far, kaya naman. We're just all focusing on graduating and board exams. Yeah. Hey guys, I couldn't fit all of your questions into one video, so just stay tuned for part 2 all about
Rectum/duty experience.
Okay. You said duty.
I know.